Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review the film The American. Now, this isn't a new film, this was from a few years ago at this point, but I did this as a recommendation from my friend Alex Sanders, who's busking himself around California. So if you're out that way and you hear about Alex playing, you should go check him out. He's a really good musician. But he really wanted me to check out this film, The American, based off of my underrated films video that I did a couple weeks ago. So I checked this out, starring George Clooney, who plays an assassin, and he's trying to figure out what he wants to do with his life and reassessing what he does. And honestly, George Clooney is one of the big positives about this film, as he brings a very subtle, very intense performance throughout this film, and it's something a little different than you expect from George Clooney, who usually is super charismatic and really grabs the screen. In this film, he's a lot more restrained, but also very powerful, and you can really tell that he's giving it his all in this film. And he makes for a very intriguing and interesting central character that we follow around in this film, trying to see where his situation of him being out, say, in like the country and away from things, is really going to bring him, and what kind of life he's going to figure out for himself. And overall, the acting is very well done in this film, and it was something that really impressed me. I don't recall a single person in this film sticking out as like, that wasn't the greatest performance, that was really lacking. Everyone brings their A game for this film. And there's a lot of great chemistry between the different actors throughout this film. And it is very tense and suspenseful. There's quite a few scenes where you feel very on edge and waiting for what's going to happen here. And Martin Rue, who's the cinematographer, this is incredibly well shot. The camera movements, how everything is so precise and done with perfect timing, moving the camera along, building the tension, building the suspense. Everything is well put together. And Herbert Groenemeyer, who, and I probably got that wrong, but he did the score for this film, and it's a very interesting score. It's very atmospheric and really fits together with all the other technical prowess of this film that really brings this film together. And honestly, the themes of our main central character trying to figure out what he really wants to do with life, and all the different situations that come out in his life, and him trying to figure out what's really worth living for, I think that's a very strong aspect of this film as well. I feel like it's a bit scattered. There are some certain sequences and plot threads and stuff like that honestly, it's an assassin spy kind of movie, and a lot of them have a lot of subplots and things going on. I felt like this could have been slightly more streamlined, and sometimes it is a bit too subdued and deliberate for its own good at certain points, where it does really take its time, because this film isn't a super long film either. It is one of those films that you do have to really be invested, and that's a tricky thing. If you're not, you might be checked out at certain points in this film. And honestly, the story isn't too original, but honestly, how often do you see extremely well put together original films at this point, seeing as so many things have been done? You might have seen this film before, but I feel like the technical prowess, the acting, and everything that was put into it, and this very methodical, very calculating operation of putting this all together really makes this film stand out. Now, I recommend this to people that are really big into film. I noticed that a lot of the general audiences did not like this film, and I understand that, because this isn't a film for everybody. If you're not into something that's going to take its swell old time going through and really making you sit and be patient and really invest in this film, you're not going to like this film. But if you are up to the test of sitting through and really giving this film a chance, I think it's worth your time. And I definitely recommend The American out to all of those cinephiles out there if you haven't seen it. And thank you, Alex, again for recommending this film for me, and Glad that I could check it out and share my thoughts.